Alright, and hey there, Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here, and we're back for some more of the Twilight Princess HD Let's Play. And not only that, but I have a brand new chair alongside with me. I did go and switch out with my old one. This one is really nice. This is an ergonomic gaming chair, so it's really good for the back, and it's been doing pretty well so far. I bought it like a couple days ago, and so far it has been relatively nice to just go and sit down on it. But anyways, enough about me going to talk about with my chair here. We need to go and talk about within our way of what this episode of Twilight Princess is all about here for today, and that is going to be right here, is that we are back in this area where a whole bunch of these P-hats were at. And if you guys do recall, this place did have a certain chest that we couldn't really go out of our way to grab, but I think during the last episode I could have went and probably picked it up, but I just decided to just kind of leave it out and then kind of just bring it up here for this episode. But this is where the next up and coming heart piece is going to be. So now, not only do we have one heart piece, but now we do have two heart pieces alongside with us now. And that's all that we have to go and do, because at this point, for right now within this dungeon, there's nothing really anything too main of importance that we have to go and pick up. So far we already got ourselves with quite a bit of different stamps and everything of that type of nature, so we're all good with that. And as you guys go and see, we are back over at our last location during the last episode, and that was where we had to use the chandelier to kind of stop everything that was going on within that said propeller area. Well, now we're going to have to go and use the grating that is going to be up top of this said area, and we're going to have to use our claw shot to lower all the way down to go and find another type of chandelier spot, and that is going to be right around in the hub location. Now, before, I don't believe we could have actually went and done something like this, trying to get the chandelier spot, because you do need to have the double claw shot for this said reason. Now, once we go ahead and open up with the chandelier, that should actually take us to the new location where that is where the boss of our time is going to be here. Now, this said boss is going to be by the name of Argorok, and Argorok is a little bit of a tricky boss in a way, because we'll get into more details for when the actual battle does happen. But again, just like how we went and did some other previous boss fights from before here in this game, is that there is going to be, with a said type of way, where there is going to be two different phases here. And the second phase of Argorok can actually be somewhat relatively annoying if you're not too careful, but we'll be heading on into that very much shortly around over here. Now, within these two videos for our time, we are going to have to go and do some other things that are going on right now within Final Fantasy X. We are going to have to do some exploration around within our way of everything that is going on within the airship at this point. Now, we do have a dragon boss battle that's going to happen, and yeah, we got a lot of dragon battles that are going to be showing up here. We got Argorok that's going to be happening here in this episode, and then we have Avare, which I believe that's what his name is, in the next battle that is going to be happening for the next episode in Final Fantasy X. But all that we're going to just be doing there is just doing a lot of exploration within the airship, go and buy out some new items that we do need before we get ourselves all well and prepared for what is going to be taken on within that said dragon fight over in that way, because that guy deals with quite a bit of different poison elements that we don't really want to go and try to deal with right now, so we'll hold that off for that moment for next time. But here it is. This is our next main type of big area here. I'm not going to show you guys all the way through of how this area is going to be all about, but basically it's a rinse and repeat type of way. You just have to go use your double claw shot, go and reach all the way up into where you can hit one of the switches, then you get another platform started to move, and then you just kind of just do the rinse and repeat type of style, and then find another switch at the very end of the area, and you already got the boss door already waiting for you. So these guys are actually known as aerial foes. I didn't know that that was what they were actually going to be called as. I thought these guys were just kind of like just a Lizal foes, but just have wings at this point in time. But yeah, these aerial foes, all you have to do is just kind of just make sure, just like how we did it before, is just that we have to use the claw shot, just kind of pull them down and then get their exposed weak points out there, and then just kind of just do it for the next guy that's going to be showing up as well too in the process. And after a little bit of some time, we made it all the way up to the very highest point that's going to be showing up here at this moment now. And at this point, if I can just at least just reach it all the way up there, we can. And we should be able to see that there's another one of these switch guys right here. And now we can actually finally start going and moving now. And it's going to land us right on over to where that door is going to be. And there's going to be a hookshot spot as well too. So we already got it. And it's already all good to go. Okay. And unfortunately, there's no fairies here. It doesn't really seem like there is going to be any. But at least the good thing is that we already got ourselves with quite a bit of like different items that have the bottles with some special medicine in them. Like we got like the red potions now, and then we also can't forget that we do have that special type of rare chew jelly that we can get ourselves with quite a bit of some different healing methods as well. Alright, so after all that time having to go and use the claw shot here in the outside area, this is where the boss battle is going to begin. There is going to be some vines, and they just have to climb all the way up here for this. Now, this is where this battle needs to come into play, where you have to use the double claw shots and iron boots. So this guy is kind of like almost in a way of like having to go and use those type of weird switches that we've been finding that kind of look like a chandelier or something, and we kind of have to like go and use those to kind of pull some things down. Well, that's what we're going to kind of have to do with this guy, because that's how we're going to have to damage up with his armor, because we can't really go and do anything to this guy or even try to hit him or anything, because this guy's already all bulked up and already have all the armor that he does need. So the only way that we can only go and try to damage him is by just grabbing on that tail, like basically like that one type of beginning enemy that was all the way back in the what was it, in Wind Waker, which I forget what his name is, but it'll probably come back to me. I don't know if I'll probably put like a blip or something, but because I know it's Dragon Roost Island, but I just forget about who the actual boss of that area. Well, I wouldn't really call him as a boss, but it's more so of like you have to battle out with Goma, but then you have to like grab on the dude's tail. But here we go, and just make sure that you use the iron boots, and just like that, you can pull them on down, and there you go. All the armor has already been taken off, but this man's not done just yet, because now we got the second phase that's going to be showing up here. So as you guys go to see, there's something on his back there, and it has like those two purple orbs. Well, those purple orbs that we're going to have to use, like we're going to have to use that Master Sword to make sure that we go and smash them all down here. It's almost like kind of in a way of like how we went and battled out through the water temple boss that was going on from before, where we kind of had to like stab the eyeball. Well, this one we have to go to stab the jewel that's going to happen here. So yep, so now the P-Hats are now going to finally start to arise out here now. And just like how we did before in the City of the Sky, well, now we're going to have to do a lot of the movement up in here in this part. Now, this segment right here for this second phase can be somewhat relatively tricky, because like maybe the first two attempts that you go and do out here, because there's like 3 different hits they have to go and do with this guy, the first 2 are not going to be as bad, but but I want to say at least somewhere around the third, actually not the second, but the third one is going to be a little bit more tricky, because now this guy's going to have to go and use his fire breath the other way. And you wouldn't really realize that, because now he's going to kind of trick you and kind of pinpoint you into another direction. But either way, if you go into the other direction, you should be able to go and find out where his purple orb is going to be. And if you can line it up properly just like that, and get them all a little bit confused, go and stab that jewel right there. And just like that, Argorok is finally down and out. And now we can finally pick up for another heart container. So very happy around with that. And there's not really too many other heart pieces left, because pretty soon we are going to have our full 20 hearts that we're going to possibly be needing to go out and grab. I'm pretty certain, I think there is still one more heart container, and I think, if I can recall, I don't know if it's at like Hyrule Castle, or if it's like in like the actual Twilight world, because I know that because I'm pretty sure that this one right here is not the last one. But here we go. We got ourselves now with the other said mirror of the Twilight that we do need. And I'm pretty sure that by this time we all have the 4 of the many that we do need. And now we can just go and return back over to the Arbiter Grounds and finally get to see that mirror of Twilight now finally be able to open up. And Mina is going to have to go and create another type of exit warp point for us to go and hopefully get ourselves on out with. And I think by this time, for right now, we are going to have to end off with this episode for today. There's our heart container, and for right now, I'm going to end it off here. See you guys in the next one of Twilight Princess. And for the next one, it looks like we are going to have to do the Arbiter Grounds. But I think as well, too, we should probably go and do a little bit of some side stuff as well before we get ourselves into that, before we go and do anything. But anyway, see you guys then, and peace!